Think your ChatGPT conversations are private? Think again. Is AI more capable of understanding emotions than humans? A Reddit user blames Microsoft for the loss of 30 years of irreplaceable data, and Nobel Prize winner Jeffrey Hinton warns that humans may be made obsolete faster than we have thought. Welcome to #Trending. I'm your host, Dr. Hema Murthy, sitting in for Jim Love. The artificial intelligence industry faces a privacy reckoning after a federal judge rejected a user's bid to protect private conversations from indefinite preservation in a high-stakes copyright lawsuit. Judge Ona Wong upheld her earlier order to preserve all ChatGPT conversations for evidence after rejecting a motion by ChatGPT user Aidan Hunt. The order stems from the New York Times lawsuit against OpenAI and Microsoft over alleged copyright infringement. Hunt represents a growing concern among ordinary users that their private AI conversations could become litigation evidence. Hunt said he had no warning that this might happen until he saw a report about the order in an online forum, and is now concerned that his conversations with ChatGPT might be disseminated, including highly sensitive personal and commercial information. This is not just about one individual's privacy. OpenAI says the order forces it to retain even deleted ChatGPT chats and API content that would typically be automatically removed from systems within 30 days. This fundamentally breaks the company's privacy promises to users. However, Judge Wong dismissed Hunt's constitutional concerns with pointed criticism. She noted, "The petition does not explain how a court's document retention order that directs the preservation, segregation, and retention of certain privately held data by a private company for the limited purposes of litigation is or could be a nationwide mass surveillance program. It is not." But industry experts are worried. Privacy advocates warn that companies might adopt comprehensive data retention policies just to avoid litigation risk. Even though no court has ruled this to be legally required, and the privacy implications haven't been fully considered. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said, "We will fight any demand that compromises our users' privacy. This is a core principle." Referring to the New York Times demand, he said, "We think this was an inappropriate request that sets a bad precedent." The broader battle continues as OpenAI appeals the preservation order while fighting the underlying copyright case that could reshape how AI companies handle both training data and user privacy. Artificial intelligence systems now score higher than humans on emotional intelligence tests, but experts warn the headline-grabbing results don't tell the whole story. Researchers from the University of Geneva and University of Bern tested 6 leading AI models, including ChatGPT-4, on standard emotional intelligence assessments, and the results were astonishing. AI achieved 81% accuracy compared to just 56% for humans. The test presented emotionally charged scenarios with multiple choice answers. For example, one of Michael's colleagues has stolen his idea and is being unfairly congratulated. What would be Michael's most effective reaction? AI consistently chose responses that human experts deemed most appropriate. But experts question, what does this actually measure? It's worth noting that humans don't always agree on what someone else is feeling, and even psychologists can interpret emotional signals differently, said finance expert Taimur Ijlal. So beating a human on a test like this doesn't necessarily mean the AI has deeper insight. It means it gave the statistically expected answer more often. The fundamental issue is these were multiple choice tests, far from real emotional situations. AI systems are excellent at pattern recognition, said CliniScript CEO Norman Jaffer. But equating that to a deeper understanding of human emotion risks overstating what AI is actually doing. Real-world applications show mixed results. Ailton, an AI used by over 6,000 truck drivers in Brazil, identifies stress and sadness with 80% accuracy. But when the cultural context or the lighting changes in an emotion recognition test, the AI accuracy drops off a cliff, notes digital expert Jason Hennessy. Does it show LLMs are useful for categorizing common emotional reactions? Said consultant Wyatt Mayhem. Sure, but it's like saying someone's a great therapist because they scored well on an emotionally themed BuzzFeed quiz. A Reddit user's digital life disappeared overnight when Microsoft suddenly locked their OneDrive account without warning, trapping 3 decades of irreplaceable photos and work files with no way to get them back. The user explained, I was consolidating data from multiple old drives before a major move, drives I had to discard due to space and relocation constraints. The plan was simple. Upload to OneDrive, then transfer to a new drive later. After uploading the data, Microsoft abruptly suspended the account without explanation. The frustrated user wrote, Microsoft suspended my account without warning, reason, or any legitimate recourse. I've submitted the compliance form 18 times. And each time I get an automated response that leads nowhere. No human contact, no actual help. The user called Microsoft a Kafkaesque black hole of corporate negligence and questioned whether the situation violates consumer protection laws. You just can't hold someone's entire digital life hostage with no due process, no warning, and no accountability. Microsoft's terms warn that content and data associated with a locked account will be deleted unless legally required to retain it. Experts suggest automated systems likely flagged potentially copyrighted content, triggering the suspension. But this story has critical lessons. First, never trust any cloud provider with all your data. Accounts can be suspended, hacked, or encrypted by ransomware. You must have at least one, preferably two, alternate backups. At least one should be air-gapped and write-protected. And test these regularly. A backup is only good if it can be restored. Microsoft aggressively pushes OneDrive integration in Windows 11, presenting itself as safe storage. But they have obligations to truly educate customers and provide meaningful recovery assistance. Whether it's Microsoft or any other company, the harsh reality remains. When cloud services fail, decades of memories can vanish instantly with no human to call for help. Predicted, it would manifest through the technology developing schemes and capabilities. You would never have thought of them. Most concerningly, if you had an argument with them about anything, they would win the argument. Beyond winning debates, Hinton outlined 6 major AI risks: unemployment, bias and discrimination, echo chambers, fake news, autonomous weapons, and existential threats to humanity itself. His former student Nick Frost, co-founder of AI company Cohere, offered a more optimistic view during their joint panel. While both agree AI will disrupt jobs, Frost believes large language models will automate only 20 to 30% of computer-based work, whereas Hinton worries about 80% automation. Frost said, I think there's a limit, and I think there's lots of work that we do now as people in our jobs and in our roles and in our personal lives that an LLM will not be able to do. Hinton called for massive public pressure to create AI regulations, comparing the situation to climate change action, requiring citizen advocacy against resistant industries. And that's our show. Let us know what you think at technewsday.com. Just use the Contact Us button on the website. I'm your host, Dr. Hema Murthy. Jim is on vacation next week, so I will see you next Friday.